The 50 Cent and Diddy documentary shows that we are still on the plantation. This is an obvious fact. And Netflix, I believe, put this out for that exact reason, to keep y'all Negroes in check. That's exactly what it is. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. I mean, we can even go to the simple fact of checking to see who runs Netflix, right? Look at the owner of Netflix. And hasn't he been under a lot of stress or a lot of pressure for people signing off, people jumping off subscriptions? Didn't Elon Musk even do a whole campaign about delete Netflix? So we know that Netflix has been losing a lot of money, losing a lot of customers, and they're doing anything they can do to catch hype. So what do? They paint 50 Cent as the villain to go after Diddy. Two black men, right? Two black men tearing each other down because we know that when Diddy gets out, he's going to definitely sue. There's going to definitely be a lawsuit. Now, we know that Netflix is smart enough to, as they say, dot their I's and cross all their T's to make sure that they won't get sued. But Diddy has already gone on to claim, or his publicist or speaking team has already gone on to say that that footage that 50 used in that documentary was all stolen footage that he already hired another videographer to film for him. Now, I only saw bits and pieces of the documentary, but from what I've been hearing and from what I've been seeing and from what I heard from the Breakfast Club's take, it doesn't sound like we really missed anything. As a matter of fact, it almost sounds like a lot of the stories, according to the people that were there, that were key witnesses at the time, said that a lot of the stuff was made up. The timeline is not really correct. It's not really accurate. You have people who decline to show up in the documentary, but then you also have people that do all these podcasts. I don't know if Gene Squill was on it yet, but all these people that do these podcasts, of course, they probably got a paycheck and went up to speak. It's just terrible, man. Nothing but a bunch of black people tearing down another black man who's already locked up. Now, again, I know I got to say disclaimer for all the sensitive people out there. I am not trying to take Diddy's side. He probably definitely deserves to be incarcerated for the crimes that he committed, if there were really any real serious crimes other than what he did to Cassie. We all know that that was a crime. But what was a bigger crime was the fact that that video surveillance was kept undercover for $50,000 by the hotel and the powers that be, and that footage was only released at the time of his downfall. That's the real crime that was also committed. Who was the one that was behind that video, that was keeping that video hidden and probably holding that video by a leash saying, hey, you better stay in check, Negro. You do something that we don't like, we're going to release this video and it's going to destroy your career. It's going to destroy your image. You're going to really look like a bad boy. I mean, that's what happened. I mean, we can bring up all the conspiracy theories, right? And let's do that because sometimes these conspiracy theories are true. Let's bring up the fact that this documentary was released a few days just before Jay-Z's birthday. You think that's a coincidence? Because 50 and Jay-Z also have a beef. Let's not forget. Let's also not forget that 50's baby mama was one of the escorts on Diddy's payroll being paid to be in these freak-offs. Do you think that a man who had the mother of his child involved not only with Diddy, but also getting freaked off with a bunch of escorts, do you think that he's going to have a neutral decision in making this documentary? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I agree with some of the things that Dame Dash said. Never trust another man, especially a black man who wants to take another black man's down, especially on a white man's platform. Let's just look at the facts of that. And now people are going to say, oh, this isn't about racism. Yes, it is. It's time for us to be real here, people. Let's really look at what's going on. Again, this 50 Cent and Diddy Sean Combs documentary is showing that black people are still on the slave plantation. It don't matter that you got a few million here or a couple hundred million there. That's great. But look at what they are doing to get this money. 50 Cent posted on his social media today that he's going to get an Emmy for this documentary, that he's working on getting an Emmy for this. So you want to bring another black man down to get your subscriptions, to get your money, right? And then also to win awards for this? Did we not forget, people? Didn't Kendrick Lamar, and I know I don't like to keep bringing up the rap references, but as a friend of mine once told me, the truth is in the music, or at least it used to be. I don't really know about today, but at least it used to be in the music for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick was talking about this on Not Like Us, about the colonizers. Did we not forget that the people that were selling slaves were not just white men? Black men were also selling black people to slave masters. There's a whole movie that I know a lot of the young kids out there probably don't even take the time to see because the internet has teach people to have a short attention span and not go back and do their history. I'm glad that at least when I was growing up, we had to watch shows like The Roots and Shaka Zulu. Go back and watch Shaka Zulu. When the colonizers from Europe came to Africa to get slaves from African kings, these men were rich and powerful and had slaves that they could sell. And let's be honest, not just for money, but also for white women slaves too. Oh, am I breaking down too much knowledge here? Let's hope. Let's hope that I can use this platform to speak some truth. I'm telling you right now, man, this is not a good look for us. We are in the midst of laughing and joking and having two powerful black men go at each other and bring people down. And Netflix chose the perfect villain to put the face on it because they knew that they wanted to do this documentary. And who better to have do this documentary than one of Diddy, Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Combs' worst enemies, other than Tupac Shakur, 50 Cent. And 50's going to go at him because his baby mama and his child is involved in this. And Netflix is probably like, well, we don't want to just put this documentary out and just have it out and people are going to come at Netflix and say, why are you doing this and da 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 da. No, they said, okay, we'll put this documentary out, but 50, you got to be the face behind it. And 50, he loves it. He loves the confrontation. He loves the attention. His first album came out before the internet really existed. Well, the internet was around, I should say, but before social media came out. 50 Cent's first album already dropped. Okay? So he's already had this vindictive vendetta since he was dropped from Columbia Records. Okay? So we know that this is just in his character to be this type of a troll, to be this petty. Listen, man, I'm a fan of 50. I'm a fan of his music. I think he should have got a Grammy, at least for something. But I will say this, though, man. This is a sign that we still on the plantation or that black people are still on the plantation. It's all about some of us got to get off of this plantation now. For those of you that saw the movie Sinners, which I hope you saw the movie by now, it's funny how some people say that's just a vampire movie. But if you really watch the whole metaphors of the movie, and we don't have to break down all the metaphors, but one of the metaphors that stuck out to me a lot in that movie was when the son told his father that he needs to get off of the plantation. It's so interesting how many people that little part of the movie went over their heads. The brothers and the guitar player, that was their goal, to get off of the plantation. That is the same thing I am saying with us. We need to get off of the plantation. And one other point I want to put in here real quick is it funny. It's funny that when I was watching the Breakfast Club this morning and Charlamagne and everybody was all talking. And by the way, why is Jess Hilarious still on the Breakfast Club? They don't even let her speak. They don't even let her talk. She's just there because of feminist movements. We all know that this was a 9 to 5 job where that wasn't on camera, that wasn't in the public's eye. She would have been fired a long time ago. She would have been fired a long time ago. But that's another story. But I just want to say I was listening to the Breakfast Club this morning, and Charlamagne was like, why didn't these people come out and speak about it then? Why did they wait for Diddy to get locked up to speak about all this stuff? I'll tell you why, Charlamagne. Because in the 90s, it wasn't cool to be a snitch. Not only would Diddy probably handle you or have his handlers handle you, but also nobody in the streets would respect you. As I said before in previous videos, we are in a time of weak men where we allow people to snitch and y'all still buying tickets to their rap concerts. Talking about, oh, this is album of the year. Man, y'all tripping. Some of y'all tripping. But I will say, Charlamagne, again, people didn't snitch in the 90s. The internet wasn't around then, or at least available to the public. And we didn't have all these little soft people running around, men getting emasculated like the way we do now. That's all I'm going to say on this for now. But yeah, man, I don't know how to feel about this documentary. I mean, you know, those of us that were already around in hip hop in the 90s, none of this is really new to us, other than some of the surveillance footage that came out that they were hiding. But other than that, none of this was really new to us. We already knew what time it was and what was going down. This is just new to this whole new internet culture of sensitivity. But again, this documentary with 50 Cent and Diddy shows that they're trying to keep black men on the plantation.